Welcome back, everybody, to GRBC Kids. I am so happy to have you with us today. And let's go ahead and get started with a word of prayer. Dear Lord, I thank you so much for this day. I thank you so much for your many blessings and answered prayers, even unanswered prayers. Lord, I lift everybody who is watching us up to you. And Lord, I just pray that we're able to take this lesson to heart and use it in our daily lives. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen. So today we're going to talk about being happy when others succeed. You know, one of the most famous quotes that I know of is, "You can't win them all." And to be honest, you won't. You will always, you're not always going to win every game, ace every quiz or test. You know, you might, in today's society, you might not even have the most likes on Facebook. You know, or the most people to watch you on Twitter and all those other little side electronic things. You can tell I don't deal with the electronics that much. I mean, please. You won't always be the best, but how you act and react when others do better will define your character and others' impressions of you. Will you be a sore loser or someone who will celebrate another's success? God wants us to celebrate one another's successes and encourage one another. Some Bible people set good examples, and others didn't. In today's story, King Saul provides an example of how not to act when someone else succeeds. So today I'm going to be reading 1 Samuel chapter 18, verses 1 through 14. After King Saul had finished his conversation with David, David met Jonathan, the king's son, and there was an immediate bond of love between them. Jonathan swore to be his blood brother and sealed the pact by giving him his robe, sword, bow, and belt. King Saul now kept David in Jerusalem and wouldn't let him return home anymore. He was Saul's special assistant, and he always carried out his assignment successfully. So Saul made him commander of his troops, an appointment which was applauded by the army and general public alike. But something had happened when the victorious Israeli army was returning home after David had killed Goliath. Women came out from all the towns along the way to celebrate and cheer for King Saul, and were singing and dancing for joy with tambourines and cymbals. However, this was their song: "Saul has slain the thousands, and David his 10,000s. Of course, Saul was very angry. "What's this?" he said to himself. "They credit David with 10,000s and me with only thousands. Next, they'll be making him their king." So from that time on, King Saul kept a jealous watch on David. The very next day, in fact, a tormenting spirit from God overwhelmed Saul, and he began to rave like a madman. David began to soothe him by playing the harp, as he did whenever this happened, but Saul, who was fiddling with his spear, suddenly hurled it at David, intending to pin him to the wall. But David jumped aside and escaped. This happened another time too, for Saul was afraid of him and jealous because the Lord had left him and was now with David. Finally, Saul banned him from his presence and demoted him to the rank of captain. But the controversy put David more than ever in the public eye. David continued to succeed in everything he undertook, for the Lord was with him. When King Saul saw this, he became even more afraid of him, and all Israel and Judah loved him, for he was one of them. I'm going to ask you a few questions now. Who was angry and jealous of David? Answer: King Saul. Who encouraged David and was happy with his success? That was Jonathan. Jonathan continued to support David even when it meant standing against his father, King Saul. Jonathan realized that God would make David, not himself, the next king of Israel. Jonathan was never jealous of David, nor did he try to destroy David's career. What does jealousy and envy accomplish? Absolutely nothing. Hear me again. What does jealousy and envy accomplish? A big, fat nothing. All it does is it makes you a sore loser. Are you a sore loser? That's jealousy. Nothing is accomplished. Having anger, nothing is accomplished. Envy only makes the jealous person miserable, not the successful person. An envious person is unlikable, and envy displeases God. What are the benefits of supporting and encouraging people to succeed? You have friendship, great sportsmanship, happiness. An encouraging person is likable and pleasing to God. This week, I want you to encourage others when they succeed. Be happy. Don't show envy. Remember, always ask God to help you through the hard times and through the difficult times, especially when you're jealous and envious of what somebody else might have, or maybe they made a better grade, or they did better in sports than you. So I want to thank you for watching today, and I do look forward to seeing you again later. Talk to you soon.